Happy Republic Day to all. Jan 26th every year is celebrated as Republic Day in India. Republic Day marks an important day in India's history. It commemorates the enactment of the Constitution of India, which came into effect on January 26, 1950, becoming an independent republic. Hey, hello, bonjour. Welcome to Entailing Tales with Sush. This is our sixth story from the Sudha Murthy series, and I really hope all are adoring her stories just like me. Today's story is a simple yet thought-provoking story to be told on the occasion of Republic Day. Reading A Wedding in Russia from the book How I Taught My Grandmother to Read and Other Stories. A wedding is a great event in everyone's life. In India, it is done with a great deal of ceremony. In our films, a large number of stories are based upon weddings. If you look at Indian history, you will see many wars have been fought for the sake of a marriage. People have always spent a lot of money and effort on these. In olden days, the wedding celebrations used to carry on for a week. Later, it came down to 3 days, then 2 days, and now it is for a day. The amount of money spent sometimes constitutes the entire life savings of a person. At times, people take such huge loans for this celebration that they have to go on repaying throughout their lives. In my experience, whenever I have talked to bonded laborers, I have found that a majority of them have got into that state because of the wedding expenses they had incurred. In a marriage, the couple and their parents are worried about various things. Is she looking pretty? Are the guests being looked after? Will he keep her happy? People like you and me are worried about the wedding lunch. It is an occasion where young boys get to meet young girls. Old people talk about their ailments and women exhibit their finest jewelries and silk saris. Recently, I was in Moscow, Russia. Moscow city has many war memorials. Russia has won 3 great wars in its history, which are a source of pride for them. They have built war memorials and erected many statues of the generals who were responsible for their victories. The first war was between Peter the Great and Sweden. The second was between Sir Alexander I and Napoleon of France. The third one was against Hitler in the World War II in 1945. There is a huge park in Moscow known as Peace Park. In the middle of this Peace Park, there is a large monument. There is a pillar, and on the pillar, the different battles fought by Russia have been mentioned along with dates and places. The park has beautiful fountains. In the summer, flowers of many colors bloom, and the place is a feast to the eyes. In the night, it is decorated with lights. Every Russian is proud of this park, and it is a spot visited by all tourists. The day I went to the park was Sunday. It was drizzling and cold, though it was summer. I was standing under an umbrella and enjoying the beauty. Suddenly, my eyes fell on a young couple. It was apparent that they had just got married. The girl was in her mid-20s, slim, with blonde hair and blue eyes. She was very beautiful. The boy was almost of the same age and very handsome. He was in a military uniform. The bride was wearing a white satin dress decorated with pearls and pretty laces. It was very long, so 2 young girls were standing behind her, holding up the ends of the gown, so it should not be dirtied. One young boy was holding an umbrella over their heads, so that they should not get drenched. The girl was holding a bouquet, and the 2 were standing with their arms linked. It was a beautiful sight. I started wondering why they had come to this park in this rain soon after getting married. They could have surely gone to a merrier place. I watched as they walked together to the dais near the memorial, kept the bouquet, bowed their heads in silence, and slowly walked back. By now, I was very curious to know what was going on. I could not ask the couple because they probably could not speak English and I didn't know the Russian language. There was an old man standing with them. He looked at me, my sari, and asked, "Are you an Indian?" I replied, "Yes, I am an Indian." "I have seen Raj Kapoor's movies. They were great. Raj Kapoor had visited Russia. I know one Hindi song. Do you know Moscow city has statues of 3 great Indians?" "Who are they?" "Jawaharlal Nehru, Mahatma Gandhi and Indira Gandhi." Since we were chatting quite amicably now, I decided to use the opportunity to ask some questions. "How come you know English?" "Oh, I worked abroad." "Will you tell me why that young couple visited the war memorial on their wedding day?" "Oh, that is the custom in Russia. The wedding takes place normally on a Saturday or a Sunday. Irrespective of the season, after signing the register at the marriage office, married couples must visit the important national monuments nearby. Everybody in this country has to serve in the military for a couple of years at least. Regardless of his position, he must wear his service uniform for the wedding. Why is that? This is a mark of gratitude. Our forefathers have given their lives in the various wars Russia has fought. Some of them we won and some we lost, but their sacrifices was always for the country. The newly married couple needs to remember they are living in a peaceful, independent Russia because of their ancestors' sacrifices. They must ask for their blessings. Love for country is more important than wedding celebrations. We elders insist on continuing with this tradition, whether it be in Moscow, St. Petersburg, or any other part of Russia. On the wedding day, they have to visit the nearest war memorial. This set me wondering about what we teach our children. Do we tell them about the sacrifices of the 1857 War of Independence? Do we talk about the 1942 Quit India movement? Or ask newlyweds to visit the Andaman cellular jail where thousands lived in solitude and was sent to the gallows? Do we remember Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Shivaji, Rana Pratap, Jhansi Lakshmi Bai, who gave their lives to save our country? These men and women never lived to see an independent India. But do we have the courtesy to remember them on the most important day of our lives? We are busy shopping for saris, buying jewelries, and preparing elaborate menus and partying in discos. My eyes fill with tears at the thought, and I wished we could learn a lesson from the Russians. Thank you. If not for the Indian leaders who struggled for decades, India would have still been slaves in our very own land. It is not a year or two of bondage, but almost 200 years. Let's respect the immense sacrifices and struggle they have undergone for the future generation. Let us know the history and remember our heroes and heroines who laid down their lives to preserve India for a greater good. That's all for today and have a nice day. That's Sush signing off. Tata bye-bye until we meet again on yet another episode from Entailing Tales. Love and spread love.